You had to do the defence spend announcement. Can you just sort of lift the lid on that a little bit in terms of it's a manifesto pledge broken, you perhaps didn't really want to do it as Chancellor and then you had to find the money. It happened really quicker.
Well, it's a manifesto pledge that we're fulfilling. We said in our manifesto we would get to 2.5% of GDP. Okay. Obviously, we've got the spending review coming up in June. But as you sort of started off this section of the podcast, the world has changed. We can all see it before our eyes. And the decision was made not just to get to 2.5%, but to get to 2.5% in 2027. I think that was the sort of most significant bit, really, of the announcement. Everyone knew we were going to get to 2.5% in this Parliament. That was a commitment from us in our manifesto that we would get there, but we're actually going to get there in 2 years because we recognise that the world has changed, the enormity of the situation.
I just want to come quickly to the spring statement. Can you just quickly explain what that actually is? It's 3 weeks out. Can you just tell everyone what it is and why you're in a bit of a pickle about it vis-a-vis your own borrowing rules?
I made a commitment, I made a commitment in our manifesto to have one major fiscal event a year. So unlike the previous government, we're not going to have another budget in the spring. We only just had one in October. And as I said at the time, that was a sort of a once in a generation, once in a Parliament type budget. I think people also know that we need to get better value for money for what taxpayers put in, and also we've got to reform our welfare system, because at the moment it's letting down taxpayers because it's costing too much, it's letting down our economy because there's too many people trapped on out of work benefits, and it's letting down the people who are recipients of benefits because they are trapped on benefits rather than actively supported back into work. So we don't need an Office of Budget Responsibility forecast to tell us that we've got to reform our welfare system. We're going to do that because it's the right thing to do.
You've got this problem, you've got a squeeze on the public finances. You're going to find that through savings in government spending rather than tax rises. Is that where we're going?
Well, in the budget, we obviously did increase taxes. We increased national insurance contributions on businesses. We got rid of the non-dom tax status. We've reformed agricultural and business property relief, VAT on private school fees. So we increased taxes at the budget to plug the gaps in the public finances and to make sure we had money for the National Health Service. But we've just gone through a massive cost of living crisis. For many people, they're still struggling with that cost of living crisis. So I don't think it is the right thing to do to increase income tax, national insurance or VAT on working people. And we made that commitment in our manifesto less than a year ago that we weren't going to increase those taxes on working people. We're not going to renege on that commitment.